Good evening, everyone. Welcome to the stream. And this is Friends Who Vamp for Water. I've got a feeling that my mic is maxing out. There we go. I did it so well the first time.
You did.
Okay, let's start again. Center. Good evening. Welcome to Friends Who Vamp for Water, a charity D&D one-shot for Charity Water, an organisation dedicated to providing people with easy access to clean water. If you'd like some details about the charity, you can do _charity in the chat. There's also !film, which is a video over on YouTube. Check out. It's also going to was played in the starting soon section and will be played during the break a little bit later. We also have some giveaways tonight. If we reach up the top there, $250 and $500, there's a giveaway of a Die Hard Dice gift code. As what else is on the list? Oh, there's also some incentives, which if you do !incentives in the chat, I'll do it now so you can see what they are. There we go. Yep, great. Yep. Yep, that's everything. Tonight we have our wonderful players. I will introduce you one at a time. I'll start with the players. Let's start with Karima. On the spot. Your mic turned on very briefly.
Which player did you want to start with? Can you say it one more time?
With Camisha Korima. My bad.
No worries.
No worries. I am Chroma Itch. I go by shirt, Camisha, Chroma, all of that. I'm one half of the stream. I stream with my other half, and I am terrible at introducing myself.
You're fantastic. I'll save you from doing any more and move on to Nathaniel.
Hey, what's up? My name is Nathaniel Kiss, aka What is Kiss. I stream, I act, I do comedy, and especially a shit post. I'm happy to be here. I'm going to be playing the party's resident vet tech, Clyde Platelet. And I'm just here to make sure all your animals are vaxxed, spayed, and you bring me a fresh fecal sample.
Okay. Hot off the back of that is Arrianna.
Hi, my name is Arrianna. I will be playing your resident elementary school teacher. I do things on Twitter, on the internet. I voice act. I do tons of things online. Just here to have a good time.
Fantastic. And then our final player for tonight is Alesha.
Hi, I'm Alesha, or NG98 on Twitter, and Petty Energy on Twitch. I stream things, but mostly I'm on other people's streams, like right now. And I'll be playing your local resident DJ Lo-Fi, bringing you the lowest of vibes. Yeah.
Fantastic. And last but not least, I will hand over the reins and completely disappear from your sight and sound. Hand it over to Baba Yaga.
Hello. Greetings, friends, fiends, and all you cryptids in between. I'm Baba Yaga, and tonight we are visiting the small town of Neighborly. It's a bit early. It's the morning. It's Tuesday morning. Children are just getting ready for school. Families are starting breakfast. Some are already working or just getting ready for sleep. You find yourselves just around the corner from Beth's Diner, favorite local spot to get a cup of coffee, a Danish, full breakfast, whatever it is that you use to start your day. It's from Beth's. So as you're walking, it's normal in your small town to just pass your neighbors. You know just about every face that you see on the street, and it's normal in town to walk It's that small of a town. So yeah, as you get there, I'm going to go down the list of the players for you and to introduce your characters a little bit more if you'd like to, and maybe explain where they're coming from and what they're excited about or what they're planning on eating or doing that day. So yeah, I'm going to go in the same order. Chroma, you're up to bat.
Okay.
Aww. Aww.
I mean, I like you, so I'm gonna pick on you. You wore that shirt. That's my favorite shirt.
Well, my name is Frey. And I would be kind of stopping somewhere to get breakfast before my shift starts. You gotta keep all the animals in control.
Okay. It's okay. It's all right. So you're on. You work the day shift at the animal shelter in town.
Yes.
Awesome. Yeah, that can be rough. There's a lot of calls that happen. What's your favorite breakfast?
My favorite breakfast. I would say my favorite breakfast would have to be like the breakfast taco things. I think they're just called breakfast tacos. But that's going to be what I am in search of right now.
Yeah. And Beth's is that kind of place that has a short line cook where you can pretty much order anything like that. All right. Arrianna.
Yes.
Where are you coming from this morning? And why are you going to Beth's? Like, what's your favorite breakfast or food item that you're getting?
Oh, so I'm coming from just setting up from class, so I can prepare before the students get there. Usually, I'm going in there to probably like, even though my favorite is like a bear claw for the morning, I'm trying to get everything on the menu. So if the kids come in, they can have something to eat or something like that.
Oh,
Mm-hmm.
that's super cute.
Mm-hmm.
You want to take care of your kids. They're your kids.
Yes.
Right.
Mm-hmm.
And there are some, because I mean, I don't want to let your proverbial cat out of the bag, but your familiar is the classroom pet. What kind of pet is it? It can be any small animal that you want it to be.
Ooh. Why do I want a flying whale? Like a little flying whale, like a little pink flying whale.
Yeah. Absolutely. This is a cryptid, but like people are used to some weird things that they won't raise any eyebrows. So yeah, you're familiar. And what's the whale's name?
I'm going to whale.
They let you know what kids need help, right? Like, because they go home, like you get your class pet gets passed around, so you kind of have a spy on the inside of what your what your kids are going through. So you know your kids. You're one of those teachers that really makes a friggin' difference in the kids' lives. That's really important, super important. Everybody needs a teacher like that. But yeah, so that's that. Like that, I'm gonna shoehorn that little thing in, that your familiar helps you in that way. Since you want to do the food, we're gonna go all the way. You are awesome. Okay, Kiss.
Good morning.
Morning. It's a
Good
beautiful
morning.
day.
Yeah, it is a beautiful day. Unfortunately, Clyde platelet doesn't work until later at the emergency animal hospital. Clyde works the graveyard shift. That doesn't mean they are not one to not be up and at 'em in the morning, taking a part of their rigorous exercise routine. They don't eat solid foods until much later. Right now, it's strictly just a liquid diet, mostly a mix of multivitamins, protein shake, and all that mixed together in a blender with some kashi cereal. Mm-mm-mm. So Clyde's probably around if there is an indoor gym or running track, unless Clyde's one of those daywalkers. Just staying active indoors as much as possible.
All right. Yeah. The they make it special for you. They make your blends the way that you like them at Beth's. It's been like a trial and error sort of thing, you know, like what is the right vegetable combination. And they know your routine, like for working out and like kind of how long you usually go for a run, or you know, like day of the week. Okay, well today I'm doing the squats and the run, and like so it's one of those things where Ruby, the hostess, she got you. Like she always makes sure that your smoothie or whatever it is of the day is ready for you the moment you walk in.
I believe there's since there was so much trial and error to get Clyde's breakfast smoothie and routine right, there's grown to be an exchange between Ruby and Clyde where Ruby gets his shake and Clyde gives Ruby just like either some flowers that were picked earlier or just maybe a little trinket or you know a little gift. Nothing too much, but just enough to say I appreciate you and I see what you do.
Yeah. That's a beautiful, beautiful friendship. Like, you know, that's what you need in life. Just kindness. That's awesome.
That's what Clyde's about.
Yeah. Animals, people, everybody.
Biting necks, you know.
Yeah. Hey, well, we'll get into that.
Consensual
Yes,
neck biting.
exactly. It's always consensual. There's people who are really into that. Yeah. Alesha, what are you doing coming to Beth's this morning to the diner, and what are you interested in eating?
All right. Well, Lo-Fi is, of course, just getting done with their all-night Lo-Fi Vibes scheduled show every day from 6 p.m. to 6 a.m. So right now, coming in for a re-up with their usual drink of a Monster and 12 ounces of coffee. You gotta stay going. Gotta keep the vibes going, man.
Oh, so is it always lo-fi all the time?
Yeah, all the time.
You gotta keep that just chill vibes. What do you do when somebody calls in and like wants house?
I mean, look, I'm open to all the types. So if they want house, I'll give them house. I am a DJ of the people.
That's right.
But I want to make sure they can taste the lo-fi.
The vibes.
But if they want house, they can have house.
And you know what? The people do love you. Like you walk down the street and everybody's like, Mama! Like you get called. It's a wonderful, wonderful thing. You have no idea who these people are, really.
Not a clue.
But hey, feeling the vibes. They're contagious.
All right.
Yeah. That is awesome. So yeah, like y'all are walking from different directions, you know, probably, maybe. More than likely walking from different directions, especially coming from work. But you arrive at Beth's at roughly the same time. You know, there's kind of that little awkward of, oh no, excuse me, oh no, oops. And like really trying to be polite and or not polite if you're grumpy, whatevs, however you're feeling. But it's a beautiful day. So after a little bumping, you guys open the door and walk in to Beth's. And at Beth's, it's always 1974. We're talking teal and orange vinyl booths. You got the wood paneling on the walls, the floor, and the ceiling. Waist high bar that kind of wraps around with a kitchen, and like you can kind of see into the back of into this little short order kitchen. And this is really like good vibes. No, like there's pictures on the wall of like all the people who have been there, town folk, like coloring from kids. But right now, today, congealing blood hides the parquet floors, and the photos have splatter on them, and there's dead bodies everywhere. Like,
Ooh.
you can tell that the restaurant has been open for a while. Like it normally opens at like 5 o'clock in the morning, and people were eating breakfast, but they got murdered somehow. There's blood and bodies everywhere, and it's completely quiet. Like it's that heavy silence. Yeah. So what do y'all do? Not the vibes.
No. Oh boy. I mean, I guess we.
Oh, no, go ahead. Oh, I was gonna ask is, can I do I look around and was anything particular catches my eye? Like besides the dead bodies, any specific?
Yeah. Without an ability roll, but with just like looking immediately, the one thing that catches your eye, that's like the initial shock of the whoa, and then oh my god, like that's Sabrione, the head of the town council and the head vampire, and she's at a foretop with, it looks like there was other, like she was eating, possibly with other people, and she's in a chair with what looks like a whole bunch of stakes pounded into her chest. And like this
That
is
red
somebody
meat will get you.
This is somebody who is highly respected, who may have actually turned one or more of you personally. But like literally the head honcho has been staked. And you can roll perception checks to take or investigation to take closer looks and try to start going through the scene if you'd like to.
Yeah.
11 or 12, whichever one, about the same.
Well, I do believe, let's see. If you want to, because we have it, we do have advantage. Oh, Mole wants to take us to a break real quick to fix the audio. So we'll just take a pause and do that. Okay. So picking up our lovely vampire players, if you'd like to roll a perception or investigation check to take a closer look at the crime scene, you are more than welcome to do so. Or if there's any other sort of skill check that you would like to do, that is also welcome. Just please describe what you'd like to do.
Sorry about that. Clyde's just going to do a quick, I guess, a body count to see how many people were there or the remains that were left behind outside of the two checks, both perception and investigation.
Yeah, awesome. Body count is something you can do pretty easily. Let me make sure I have my count correctly on here. So let's see, 3. You would see 6 bodies. Wait, hold on. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Yes, I can count. There's 6 bodies. And they're not all clumped together. Like I said, Sabrione is at a foretop, like a table. It looks like there's a couple of booths that have victims in it. Like one has 2 victims in the same booth. Another one, there's a body that's on the floor that you can kind of see like towards the restroom area in the back. And you can see what, unfortunately, Clyde recognizes it. He sees one of Ruby's shoes poking out from behind the counter.
No.
Yeah.
That shoe over there belongs to Ruby. And Clyde goes over there and picks it up. Yup, this is Ruby's. Oh no, Beth. And goes over to the counter and drops a little box that's filled with like cut baby breath petals. Because Beth wanted to. She always loved confetti.
No.
But I just said to confetti, it doesn't biodegrade. So I said the best thing ever is just use flower petals. And I asked, what's her favorite flower? And she said, baby's breath. And then I brought the baby's breath. And now Beth has no breath. And I haven't even had my morning shake yet.
Yeah, and about that too, it's on the count. Like you can, like she had it ready for you because she knows. And in the violence that happened, it's mixed with blood and maybe her but it's spilled.
Oh my goodness, this is horrible. This is all a big mess. And as Clyde's saying, they're just kind of scooping the rest of it into a cup. I can't believe oh my goodness, I'm going to be sick. Who could do such a horrible thing?
It's delicious. That's that might actually be the thing that's been missing. And it kind of like seems obvious. Vampire, of course, like there should be.
Who wants to be a cliche though, you know?
Right. But it is good. That extra bit of iron goes a long way. Like, okay. Oh, so with the rolls, let me pull up here. Arrianna with the investigation.
Advantage killer.
Yeah. So, Arrianna, you recognize immediately a couple of the remains. Being a teacher, you know a lot of people around town, a lot of parents. So the first person that you actually recognize is a lady whose name is Jeannie. She's just a regular human. But she's the notary public. And you've had to work with her a couple of times with her kid because her kid has had some problems when he was in your class. But you're amazing. So you worked it out. But you see that she's one of the people. It looks like she's over in the back. And you also recognize your mentor that was like who brought you in the school district when you first came in your first year. She just was amazing. She showed you the ropes. She was there to listen when you got stressed out. And that's Patty Harry. And you see that Patty and her husband Dennis are the couple that were sitting at the booth. They're retired. They're very silvered werewolves, and they're from the generation that just doesn't care anymore. So they don't even try to hide it. Like, Dennis looks like he was from ZZ Top, but then there's claws and fangs and kind of a snout. And then Patty, I mean, she looks like the stereotypical big bad wolf from Little Red Riding Hood dressed up as grandma. Like, she's beautiful, she's gorgeous, she's wonderful, but she got little moon glasses on, and her fur is silvered and really starting to whiten on her face. But yeah, I mean, they're werewolves that are 100% furry 100% of the time now. They're retired, it doesn't matter. But yeah, so you notice Patty and Dennis, and then yeah, you can like kind of scoping around and maybe carefully treading through the diner a little bit. You do see that Ruby's on the ground, and she's been dead as well. Been murdered as well. Yeah, with the perception check, the perception check is more like, you can tell that there's really nothing else here, Lo-Fi. Like, you're not getting any vibes that there's somebody who is like lurking around the corner. Whatever's happened here is done, and it's just sad vibes.
Radio silence, harsh.
Yeah, and no commercial breaks to even try to like break the mood up. Okay. So, yeah, as you guys are kind of, folks are standing around and slurping on some bloody smoothie and kind of just taking stock. I need everybody to roll another perception check, please. And apologies if my screaming children come through the mic. Toddlers.
Don't hear anything.
Okay, good. Okay. I hear them through the
good.
headphones. All right. Okay, so yeah. Everybody except for Arrianna. Ariana's a little bit distracted because of Patty. But everybody kind of sees a little bit of a movement all of a sudden, but not like direct. It's out of the corner of your eye. And it's just like it gives you the spooks. You all kind of feel secure that you are the only moving things here. And then, what was that? And then you start hearing a little bit of a faint, oh God.
Oh, sounds like we still have a live listener.
Clyde just motions to the rest of the group with a single finger over his lips, and then points over towards the direction where the sound's coming from, with like two fingers pointing at Clyde's eyes to everyone else's eyes. Then with the loop around with the single finger, points over towards where the sound is and says, "Hey, hey, who's over there? Hey, hey, who's over there? We hear you. Hey, hey." I have no
first DM inspiration of the game.
What? I'm leaving. I'm just shaking around because I don't know what the heck's going on.
So yeah, and Clyde, when that happens, a incorporeal, a ghost kind of pops up and you reckon it's Ruby. It looks like she normally would, except like her throat is open and she's a ghost. So you can see through her. It's kind of disturbing, but ghosts they're rare, but they happen, you know. But yeah, she's just, what the
Ghost radio. Not the time. Sorry. What happened here?
I got your smoothie, Clyde. It's over. What? That's not the color it was before.
Oh, Ruby, your throat's all slashed. You're see-through. I think you've become a ghost, Ruby.
Shit. Okay, that makes sense.
Become newly adjusted to your form. All forms are good forms, but you know, I couldn't imagine how traumatic that experience must have been.
I heard Joe in the back scream. He was back there cooking, and then I turned and I put your smoothie down, and there's just pain and darkness. And then she kind of like looks around and kind of takes into, oh, what the, and ghost can't swear. Yep, ghosts can't swear. Oh,
Are they cursed to not curse?
yep, it's part of it. But yeah, so yeah, she's okay. Somebody's got to go check on Joe. He was back there. But there's my fort. Somebody, Sabria. That's
super
gonna cause
dead.
problems.
A lot of problems, honestly.
But that I had my foretop. I had the one at the bar. I had her, and there were more people here before.
Your GMness, just to clarify for names, we have Ruby, Beth, Patty, Harry, Sabri, and Joe.
Yes.
Thank you very much.
Yeah. And then I can also copy that into chat if you'd like me to. But yeah, so yeah, she's openly like confused because the numbers don't add up. There was more people here before when she was alive. And then you all know that Joe is a giant, like an 8-foot tall talking fly, who is the cook and the co-owner of Beth's. Beth was his mom, and you know, but yeah, so you know that when she's referring to Joe, you know who he is and that he's a giant fly.
Pretty fly for a fry guy.
Mm-hmm.
I was resisting saying it.
I couldn't resist. I felt that safe.
You're the better person, honestly. I think so.
You gotta.
All right.
I'm also gonna put the species, like the cryptid type, on here, so it can be. Although I tried with the names, I tried to some little hints, and then. All right.
So then, is Joe in the back? Was that where Joe was? Like the kitchen?
Yeah, he's like the only cook at this place, so he's pretty much always in the kitchen or freezer in the back of house.
So just to not be confused, Joe was part of the original 6 bodies we found, or
no?
He's just another one.
He is not. There's no dead giant fly body out here. Everybody that's in the front of house is all humanoids. no bugs.
Okay.
So yeah, that would be if Joe is dead in the back, that would bring the total count so far up to 7.
So,
All right. I think Lo-Fi's gonna hop the counter and go ahead and go back there.
Yeah. And then so the hopping through the window. I mean, it is a window. You can do it, but I'm gonna need either an athletics or an acrobatics check to see how well you
Absolutely.
land on the other side.
I got those.
Yeah.
Yeah. Vibing, man.
You do like a sick freaking heel flip or heel kick with like a baking pan that was set up on the sink on the other side, and like it flips
Baked.
up and you managed to catch it because you have just the chillest vibes. And then I mean it's not bloody because fly, but there is a smashed fly back here, and it's gross when they're like, like our real world normal. It's gnarly, like really gnarly when it's an 8-foot tall bug.
Ooh, make that 7. I guess the whole bigger they are, harder they fall thing really is true. Sorry, Joe.
Yeah, and you can see that he had a very heavy industrial commercial mixer, which for people who might not be familiar, they weigh like a lot. They weigh upwards of like 100 pounds, solid steel, huge, to make commercial batches of bread and pastries and stuff. That's what smushed him. Like somebody moved it from across the room and him on the other side of the room on the floor. Like,
Oh, dude, they really were mixing it up. Who's strong enough to do that?
At least he died doing what he loved doing best, being alive.
I'm just gonna let you have it. Sure. The spirit goes on.
Oh, life needs things. No. Anyway,
I was about to say,
so yeah, let's see. We do you guys want to continue like looking at the bodies that kind of remain, because there's
Well, one
there's
thing
one
Lo-Fi want to do if they could would be because like seeing how big that mixer was and how strong that to be, like Lo-Fi's gonna try to figure out like who have I heard about that would be strong enough to do that, because there's strong and then there's like ripped.
yeah definitely. And I mean,
Like a history roll or something. I don't know.
Yeah, if you want to do a history roll, or if you want to do just like an intelligence or wisdom,
those are the same thing for Lo-Fi. Yeah.
So you definitely know that there are several folks in town who are strong enough to do this. There's like a whole club that Clyde probably runs into every so often at the gym. But there is like a big, huge lifting community. Cryptid's got to stay fit. You got different metabolisms and different lifestyles. So yeah, I mean, like, of about 5 different people, and the one that comes like that first comes to your mind is this really cool siren whose name is Titan. And he's like, it's probably not his birth name, but whatever, chosen names. But he's Titan because he's Titan. Like, he's the one that sits there and is like, yes, King, you can lift this. I believe in you. And just like lifts super amounts of weights, and also has done like the carpooling thing at like the town fair, is trying to raise money for charities.
Sweet.
So yeah, he's definitely the strongest person you know.
All right. Back in my mind, thinking Titan, but yeah, we can still like look around.
Yeah, I mean, like there's werewolves that you can ask too, and there's also like this Yeti that lives out in the woods, maybe. But you know, hermits, woods, that can be difficult.
I don't know if we're ready for the Yeti.
Right. um so let's see here. So yeah, Ghost of Ruby kind of pushes through the wall a little bit to look back in the back of the house in the kitchen, and it's like, oh, Joe was like 3 weeks away from retirement. He wasn't even supposed to be here today.
Oh, like, was he covering somebody's like shift?
Yeah, we hired this new guy to come in, and this was supposed to be his first day, but then he called in last night and was like, oh, I can't come in. I know I didn't meet him. Joe is the one that hired him. I was on my lunch break, but I know that he also, like, he's working part-time here, and he's working part-time at that new sandwich, Wyatt Sandwich, the new place across town by the highway.
Right.
So yeah,
Solid.
he was supposed to be here.
All right. I guess we could probably check that out too. See if maybe he wasn't feeling the vibes. Maybe he's got like premonition or something. I don't know.
Yeah. Does that, like, I mean, like, I'm not a cryptid, or do you think are there?
Let me
are
hear
there
a
things
ghost
that do-
now.
Oh my god.
Oh,
I wonder if I if she notices finally that she pushes through the wall instead of walking around.
Ghost.
Oh my gosh. I've always wanted to be an X-Men.
Oh yeah. Oh, you're totally Kitty Pryde right now. Sweet.
Okay. Hey, maybe it was worth getting my and she looks down again.
Definitely not, but let's focus on the positive.
Yep. You, Lo-Fi, I think you were just, I listen to you. Like, that's why I fall asleep too at night. Thank you.
I'm
And
glad I can
Clyde-
give you the sleepy time vibes.
Yeah. I have to work in the morning. Clyde, I'm sorry about your smoothie. I ruined it, but it's okay, because I know that Beth wrote down all of our formulations and everything, because she was planning on selling it as a normal menu item.
Ruby, concentrate is a murder.
Oh yeah. Okay.
Thank you.
Okay. So who else? Okay, so Dennis and Patty were here, and they were sitting in the back, and they were my first customers here, because Dennis always focus.
Yes.
Focus. Okay, so right before Denny and Patty were sitting down eating, Angela was at the booth behind them, and Angela is the town mechanic, the only mechanic in town. Also works on bicycles. Angela's right there. Okay, so, and then I was right here, and then Sabrion was. She was sitting with that that guy that came in that bought the old vacant lot off the highway and is building
McGillicuddy?
Yeah, Gillicuddy.
Yeah, okay. Clyde writes that down. McGillicuddy. All right.
I write that down too. I was looking through my notes, but that's better. So, yeah, the developer. She was sitting there with the developer, and she, the quiet guy from the council that does all the crazy, Kevin, and Tamir. I wonder if so. Tamir is. I don't know if you guys know this or not, but he finally got a job. And he's the new manager at the Waya Sandwich.
Oh, good for him. Good for him.
Yeah, I know, right? It's
really
Titan's been taking care of them for so long, and like he's been trying, and it's like, okay, come on, you can do it, buddy. I believe in you, but nothing worked out. And finally, he gets a job, and I mean, it's good. It's not what his degree's in, but he got a job.
Sure. Cash is cash.
Yeah, and Titan doesn't have to take care of, doesn't have to be the only fiscal responsible
I think
focus.
that's actually for the best. I've been telling Titan to loosen up for quite a bit. Anyway, but this McGillicuddy was it Kevin McGillicuddy or was it Kevin and McGillicuddy?
Kevin and McGillicuddy.
And Tamir and Angela.
Yes.
Are any of those three, save for McGillicuddy, a part of the massacre?
Angela is.
Oh, Angela's right. Oh, I should have known first. It was Angela.
I don't think we can fix that.
Not yet. But for right now, Clyde's gonna do a big inhale. Clyde's gonna inhale real deep, and I'm going to activate my divine sense to check within the area of a 60-foot radius to see if there's any fiend, fae, undead, or any other non-planar native beings here or around in this area.
Yeah, and you take and first thing that you smell is what you would expect to smell. It is the slightly
spray.
infernal cockroaches that plague the whole town. They're little fire roaches.
Infernal cockroaches.
Yeah. There was a science experiment at the science fair at the school that with ants and cockroaches and different bugs from different realms, and it kind of got out of control and loose, and it's been a big problem in the city actually for like 12 years now. Like
and they
everybody
haven't stopped mating.
Yeah.
So it's a bug and not a feature is what you're saying.
Yeah.
I get you.
Well, now it actually is a feature in the town because there's a couple little pop-up gift shops that have I came to Neighborly and all I got was attacked by a fire cockroach. It's one of those you got to try to make, but there's always people who try to do that. But yeah, no, it's a pain. So yeah, you take a big smell, you smell those infernal roaches, and underneath that, there is a lingering celestial presence that, actually, you describe what the celestial, that holiness is like to you, with the understanding that vampires and divine is not good.
No, especially after Anne Rice messed it up for everybody. When Clyde takes that deep breath, his sense of smell is so much more complex and intricate than what we can even perceive. It's kind of like the entire visual spectrum of a mantis shrimp or a butterfly, colors we can't even comprehend. The infernal bugs, they pop up like tiny bits of cinnamon, the type you would probably catch in mulled wine or any other where it's used as an accent rather than just the base overlaying flavor like a Cinnabon. But these celestial bits, see, these kind of come in, they smell like mothballs. It's a very faint yet very distinct smell. Even more so, you don't smell it that often because much like mothballs, it's a very small chance you'll come and buy them. and it's really hard to get moths to kind of. Anyway, I do pick up a few, and I think it's one of those very ephemeral type of smells where I can pick it up, but I can't quite place the exact when, but I know it was here for certain.
Oh yeah. Yeah. And it's also one of those things where it kind of like it sticks in your nose a little bit. Like even after this ability has worn off, like now that you're aware that it's there,
Can't stop smelling it.
Yeah. So yeah, and then the scent trail, because we'll say that's how it works. You can smell that it is freshest in the front of house, but that it goes out the back of the house, like the back kitchen door. So technically, if you want to reverse that, the carrier of the smell came in through the back kitchen door and ended up in the middle of the front of house in the eating area.
They went this way. Whoever it was, they went this way.
Are you really gonna follow a divine creature? Or you don't know?
I mean, if they told you.
Yeah, sorry.
Clyde does share this information, and I don't think it would be as much as like, hey gang, follow me, as much as Clyde just narrates out loud.
Fair enough.
He's a connoisseur, or they're a connoisseur of smells.
Connoisseur of smells with no filter between thought and mouth.
Awesome. So yeah, go ahead, Aria, if you want to protest.
So, are we really gonna follow someone with divineness around them? Would that be safe?
You see Derry and Harry over there? They would have done it for us. You see Angela? Angela would have done it for us. So would it Beth? Maybe Ruby? Sup, Ruby? Definitely Joe. I'm only doing what they would have done for each one of us if we were on the other end of those stakes.
I look at the stakes, put my hair in a bun, and I guess let's go.
All right. So you want to go out, like follow the scent trail. I just minimized Zoom. Follow the scent trail out, like through the back of the restaurant and out the back door of the kitchen. Okay.
So you could say we're staking out the scent trail.
You could. And you did. All right. So yeah, you guys get out to, or you guys mosey through, try not to step, or maybe trying to step in the various pool of blood and viscera, and get to the back kitchen door, and it opens up into this little alleyway that's behind the building. This is a one-story, like it's a little diner on a very low density street. So there's no skyscrapers or anything like that in town, maybe 5 stories. You have this little alleyway. There's a dumpster right there. There's various rats and normal critters that you would see in an alleyway. And then at the far end, you're at one side of the alley. At the complete opposite end of the alley, you can see a gang of kids, varying teenage kids with skateboards, and there's a puff of smoke, and just hanging, chilling, loitering, whatever you want to call it, having a good time. But yeah, there's the smell out here for Clyde is really overwhelming. It went from being just to you got hit in the face with a giant mothball, and it's it might make you gag or have a physical reaction, but you can tell it's bad.
Mm-hmm.
So we have a strong divine presence. We got rats if anybody's hungry still, and wanting to do that or talk to them as well. Like, and there's some kids and
Yes, I will approach the kids.
yes, the teacher. You recognize some of them. And not surprised really to see that they're here smoking cigarettes and whatever, goofing off, fucking around before school. And yeah, let me scroll. Sorry. So yeah, the kids see you come in and they're like, oh shit, fuck, run.
No. Okay. Oh man, is it okay to Eldritch blast some kids? No, I don't
If
do
you
that.
want, or I mean, like you could try to do like a
I'll try to catch one.
intimidation or like any sort of ability roll that you want to do. Go ahead and throw out to try to stop these kids because they're scattering. They're trying to flee the adults.
I will use the teacher voice and tell them to stay here, like intimidate them to stay here.
Yes. Okay. I'm gonna.
Of course.
I'm gonna make my rolls public too. So yeah, I mean, it does not work. Like you can see, there's some moments of hesitation, and you're like, oh, I almost got through to that kid too. But no, like they make eye contact. They know, like you can see that they know that you got some questions for them, and they don't want to talk to you. But you see which kids they are. So like you've made some IDs on several of them. So if you see them around later or want to try to find them, that's something that you have the ability to do from IDing them.
Okay.
Damn kids.
Yeah. I'll go back to the group. Well, that was a bust. Want to try the roaches? Maybe they know something.
Sure. So, because it was like the kids, the rats, and then was there one other option, or was it just kids and the rats?
It's the divine trail to try to follow that a little bit more, or suss out.
Clyde's gonna squat down and make some to call the rats over. And I'm going to activate my vampire ability, which is speak with animals.
Yeah, there we go.
As with all the Clyde's mouth loosens up and begins communicating in vermin.
Yeah.
Hey! Any of you rats over here see anything walk out of the diner with blood on them, or maybe a weapon on them, or maybe just covered in eyes, maybe just like a burning bush?
You talking to me?
Yeah, I'm talking to you.
Holy shit. Motherfucker's talking to me. Well, how do? My name is Ed.
Oh, I apologize. I'm Clyde. Vermin is not my typical tongue. So excuse if there's any accent or mispronunciations. These are my comrades. And we were all searching for someone who murdered someone very dear to us and the rest of the folks there.
There's blood. You go. Yeah. I don't much pay attention to you tall folks. Like it's beyond me, whatever. I'll eat you though. Like you kind of smell good.
Same.
And kind of shrinks back a
Fist
little
bump
bit.
each other. Respect. I eat you, you eat me. Circle of life.
Forget about it.
It's a predator world. You got to do what you got to do. But yeah, I did see some individuals.
The rat said that he saw some people. Who did you see?
Oh, I don't fucking know your names. Like I said, like it's tall people all look the same to me. But yeah, no, it was kind of strange though, because when they went in, and it was I think you call them women. I'm not sure.
We have those, yeah.
Yeah, but walked in, and then when they came out, like they shook, and then there was somebody else.
Oh, they had like a mirage thing.
No, the smell changed and everything. It went from like this really like honey and brie to kind of like you guys.
So like a shapeshifter, like a changeling or something.
Yeah, do you guys got any food? Like I'm sitting here, I'm talking to you when I'm supposed to be working, and
I break up a piece of
like
protein bar and hand it over to the rat.
That works too.
You couldn't give it a pizza. It's got kids to feed. 4 turtles.
There's no good pizza places in town. What are you gonna do? What's the rat gonna do?
It's not if it's deep dish.
Yes.
Deep dish. So the rat was like,
"Bite me, Jack."
It's something. There was something else that was weird. Now that I've had a little bit in my stomach and like think properly, the other thing that was kind of weird was, I don't go inside. That's not my thing. But I got some friends who go inside of places, and we've been sitting here talking because apparently there's some new food inside that's delicious. But apparently, this person that you're interested in got in a fight with somebody. Like there was like like pay-per-view, like octagon ring, like we're gonna make some bets here and make some money before leaving. And like, I mean, I don't speak tall folk. It sounds like it sounds like gerbil to me, and I'm not good with gerbil. I'm not trying to say anything. I'm sorry. But anyway, so we have this. So yeah, like we were sitting here like, well, who would have won the fight? Who would have and my friends didn't see what was going on because they were already eating the stuff that was in the kitchen. But yeah, and then like apparently after the fight is when the person came out. I don't know. Is there food inside? Is it good?
Clyde kind of thinks back of what the rat would probably misconstrue as food as a part of just kind of like evidence or bodies. Clyde will give the rats the rest of the protein bar, and just for the safety of you and your friends, I think it'd be best just to stay out until they kind of completed the entire course of the case and just figured out the exact cause of this. I would hate for you all to be kind of brought into this and end up it was actually the rats all along. Gah! And then while saying that out loud, Clyde just kind of narrows his eyes and looks at him. It wasn't you, right?
Well, no, I like I said, I don't go inside. It's just my friends who went inside. I mean, I don't think what happened. Like they said there was a fight, but like, I mean, like for us, fights do get really like I'll fucking kill somebody. But it's like, was it that kind of fight?
Yeah. Very much so. Clyde explains everything that they saw inside before turning back to the group. This rat's gonna kill someone. I think this is probably our number one person of interest. Not saying, but just saying, if it turns out to be the rat.
The rat pulls out a tiny little cigarette and lights it.
Who rolls them so small for you there, fella?
Well, you know, like the corner store. They go down to the bodega and they have everything.
No.
You know.
That's totally true, man.
Jesus Christ. So you think that they're not going to put any more of the rotten food out here in the dumpster because everybody's dead? Like this is, I mean, I'm sorry. I know you probably have your own considerations, but I think this might just like really have fucked up my entire life. I gotta go talk to the boys. He takes a big old chunk of the protein bar and like without anything else, just he's a rat. He don't care. He has gone around and distributing the thing and talking about with the local union, Rat Union 104, what the hell they're gonna do.
No more crumbs. No more crumbs.
We want meat. We want meat. Yeah.
FIFO goes west all over.
FIFO goes to Washington.
Do not tempt me with a good time. I love FIFO.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
Okay, so yeah. So the rat is distributing. It's a socialist union. I mean, that's what unions are. So equal distribution of the protein amongst the people, and they're done with y'all at this point.
We just probably took up like months of their life.
Yeah, I mean, if you ever have like any like union get-togethers, like call up your girl. I'll like spit some super cool vibes for you.
You notice that there is a little tiny rat boombox, like 80s style, like on your shoulder, but rat sized that they have. And there's also some cardboard down on the ground because if you're gonna have the music, you have to do the dancing. So I that's one of my favorite things that in life. And my eyelash is falling off. I'm sorry, folks.
You're good. I imagine like lo-fi like leaves like one of the little like promo buttons that they probably have that just has like LF on it for like the show, just like remember lo-fi for the vibes. It just leaves it there. Like it's probably like be like an umbrella for them, just like one of the little things. It's like that big. The rats are like that big. So it's like, yeah, they use it as like a little tabletop. Like they find a little piece of garbage and set it and got like a little tabletop there. And then there's a little mouse that gives you, or a little rat that gives you thumbs up. Okay. Oh Lordy. So y'all still have jobs to do too. Just throwing that out there. At this point, it's about 8:30. And At night?
No, in the day, in the morning.
Oh no, I'm still not on for another couple hours.
Oh yeah, sorry. Of course. Lo-fi and Clyde are, I mean, it's your night, but
Yep.
it's but
yeah,
yeah.
others have jobs. I got it.
Yeah. And so yeah, it's at this point that y'all hear some screaming coming from inside the cafe. Because yeah, it is like one of the few places in town that you can get a good breakfast if it's not fast food. So other people apparently have arrived on the scene.
To the cafe we just left that had all the dead bodies in it.
We didn't lock the door. Oh shit!
I mean, like, I'm not gonna dust. Let's just figure out what happened.
Let's go
They'll
back
take
around to
care
the main
of.
entrance instead of walking back from inside. So it looks like
You want to go back in? It's
well,
like
people
dead
are already
people.
inside. Oh, and Clyde just kind of looks and then points to us.
Yeah, but we're like vibe though. That's like different. Again, there's radio silence and then there's vibes. That's like radio silence right now. And everybody else is like tuning in, trying to tune into the frequency, but of course it's silent, so they can't really do it. Whereas us, we're trying to get the radio show going again. We're trying to figure out who took them off the air.
But it's going to be hard to figure out who took them if everyone just keeps coming in and pointing and screaming and saying, look who did that, and then touching anything and everything that's inside of there.
Not if we ignore it.
That is an option. We can ignore it.
I can't beat that. Yeah. That's just sound.
Yeah.
It's like, what if we say it's not our problem? Fair point.
Exactly. You're right.
So, what are we doing?
This is going to be probably highly disrespectful, but I'm going to use, just to handle the crime scene, I'm going to use Mask of Many Faces and transform into Joe, the cook. Just told you highly disrespectful. I'm going to go inside, and then whoever's inside just kind of like talk to them to leave, and then put like a "we are closed" sign on the door.
That works.
Love it. Love it. Love it. Okay. Can you and if you want me to, I can, but can you click that ability just so it pops up in the chat? It's the vampire ability. It's basically it's a disguise self, I believe, is the base spell, but there's no limitations on like the limb configurations and all that fun stuff. So yeah, you go from a normal humanoid to a giant 8 foot tall fly. You got your vision changes. You got your eyes are like the size of everybody else's head.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, and it takes a moment. It's a little bit disorienting because different senses, but you are able to get inside. And I would like you to roll persuasion or deception or whichever you would like. Oh, you're muted, hon.
So I was like, oh, the same. They're the same.
Yeah.
Deception.
Okay.
Deception. Oh, roll 20.
We have. Wait, did you use your second advantage?
I would like to use. Oh, may I give our friend my advantage?
Yes.
Cool.
Oh,
that'll be a 13.
So considerate. So yeah, you managed to get back in. Is everybody else going back in, like kind of behind Joe, or are you going to stay out in the alleyway?
Clyde would go around back to the front and go, oh my goodness, what happened here, Joe?
I have no idea, Clyde, but we're closing to get an investigation on it.
All right, I think it's best if we just give Joe enough room to figure this out. Make sure we don't touch anything. This way, folks.
So yeah, with Joe and Clyde combined, you are able to pass, and it's just normal folks around town, the mailman, and everybody does disperse. It's horrific, but what are they gonna do? like Joe's gonna handle this, obviously.
Yes.
And that's definitely Joe back there. Except there are two people who remain, and they wait until everybody else kind of files out, and also leaves like the front of the store area, like outside of the restaurant on the sidewalk. And yeah, Clyde and Ariana, you recognize the individuals as other members of the town council. You have, well, I'll make sure I give the correct name. Yeah, okay. I have my notes are horrible. Anyway, so you have other members of the council. You have Magdalena, or Maggie. She is the public relations representative, basically, for the whole town. And there's also Sefu, who is the interfactions relation manager for the town and a council member. And he kind of manages the various needs of the cryptids in town, and making sure that, like with feeding for vampires who choose to have blood, he made sure that it's consensual, it's safe, sane, consensual, that, you know, werewolves have safe places to shift during the moon. Various giant cicadas have their underground homes not disturbed by new building, all of that fun stuff. So yeah, that
DM, you're muted. Yeah.
Sorry. So Sefu and Maggie are kind of waiting with arms crossed and looking at the scene, and Sefu kind of is like picking up pieces of people and moving things around. Where's the party? We got Joe in the back still. Are you still Joe?
Yes, it's still Joe.
Okay. And Clyde, are you going to disperse with the crowd, or are you staying?
Clyde will attempt to disperse the crowd. After that's done, Clyde will continue their search, following the trail of this celestial being. Perhaps they can provide some more hints or clues to what's happening.
Okay. All right. And Chroma, I didn't forget about you.
So, I walked back in through the front, and I'm just going to be like, just a reminder, I'm not qualified to deal with that, as if I wasn't here already.
This is no. I mean, like, maybe, maybe no, we're not going to do that. But yeah, it's like there's a little bit of hair. I'm used to cleaning that up a little bit. There's nothing living here for you to take care of, though. So, all right, cool. And then Lo-Fi, where's Lo-Fi doing?
I guess Lo-Fi is just kind of in there a little confused, like, I thought we were ignoring this, but I guess we're here. Sup?
Right.
So Sabrina's dead. How does that make you feel?
And you see Sefu, who is old. Like, I purposely picked an ancient Egyptian name because that's when he's from. He is old. And he's seen everything, and he's probably done everything and everyone, which is kind of gross to think about because he is like a grandfather to everybody. He just kind of picks up a hand.
Dracula DiCaprio.
Yeah. He picks up the a hand from Dennis Harry and just like drops it and is like, they're dead.
Oh, so okay, you don't care. Cool. How about you, Maggie? Sorry. How about you?
You can call me whatever. Well, this is going to be a bit of an issue because Sabrione has a lot of things on her plate right now, and with the
Not
council
anymore. Oh, someone's dead. I shouldn't have said that. Continue.
Well, no, it's just, with the town's expansion, there's just a lot of things that had to get approval specifically from her, being that, like the head of land acquisition and development and all of that stuff. So I mean, like this is really going to mess up our plans that we've been doing for a while.
Was somebody like opposed to the expansion of the town or something?
There's always the old timers that are like, we want things the way that they were in the 1600s when it was just 40 people, like, blah, 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 whatever. It's 500 years later. Come on. No, I mean, like, they just didn't want the cell towers, something about 5G. And I mean, we've gotten a lot of complaints at the town meetings, but I don't know if anybody, like, nobody's threatened. Like, why would you? And all these other people, like, what? This is just a really big problem for us. I
mean, again, I don't know. Maybe it's something about like not wanting the town on the map and like a massacre and take out in the person who is going to handle all the land acquisition or whatever stuff. That could be a thing. Or maybe it's like, maybe we're finding like the inter-restaurant war and Wyatt Sandwich is behind everything.
mean,
I don't know.
You want to find out?
Okay. And I'm just gonna jump in there. Drop the joke. Just gonna drop in there. So yeah, sorry. So other than it not sandwich wars, that's about it. It's just been everything.
Yeah, I mean, like, there's always problems in town. But I mean, this is gonna have to make us call the county sheriffs in. And
dude, no.
Yeah.
No.
Well, I mean, but there's dead humans here too.
People die all the time, so I'm not saying we don't need to solve it, but I don't think we need to involve the county.
I mean, but technically,
do you want to deal with all the increase on insurance on this place if you call them in? Like, honestly.
And like, you can see now, like, deep stress forehead, like, that's a common expression for Maggie, and her face just sinks into the worst stress headache, and just like, no, you know what, I could really go for a drink right now. I know it's only 9:00, but I think I've earned it. Tell you what, you guys take care of this. I'm gonna go. Sefu, run. And then they literally fucking run out of the place. It's just like, no, you just said something that like, you kind of offered to take care of this in her mind. So she's no. I got other things to take care of now. Bye.
I mean, I was gonna say there's lots to drink around here, but she's gone, so I guess no, not anymore.
Well, you know that she has a particular she only likes O negative. One of those. It's a running joke. It's like, seriously, there's not that much of a difference. Like, okay, the flavor's a little whatever, but yeah. So
Like, I ordered a Riesling and they gave me like not a Riesling, and I could totally tell the difference. So no, I couldn't. I don't know wine like that.
hey, it's some people have a finer palate, and it would make sense that you'd be able to tell them. And people have preferences. It's all good.
Some have finer platelets.
Yeah, platelets.
Hey,
Uh,
but seriously, we should do we want to attract a divine thing? I mean, I still feel like Food Wars totally be behind this, but I'm willing to listen to other options.
Well, it seems to be our only lead.
After Clyde left Joe inside, Clyde would have definitely went to go follow that lead. If you wanted to come with Clyde, you're more than welcome to.
Yeah, follow. I assume you're not trying to hide, your direction, so I think we can catch up with you pretty quick.
Mm-hmm.
okay, so Clyde's going to be and is everybody going to go along with, or?
Yep.
Chroma?
Even the folks who have to work right now, that's awesome. Are we all taking a hooky day?
Yeah.
Again, most players not at work right now. Look, we're finished.
Oh no, the kids.
You have a cell phone. Like, you could call in a sub.
Yeah, just think it.
Okay. I'm gonna, I guess, take a minute and call out, ask for a substitute.
What do you say?
Food war, food war, food war, food war.
Or rather, what do you want to like make a roll for it and try to make a more deceptive lie than I'm sick?
So, or say, sorry, my great grand ancestor twice removed, got
they got dog flu. Yeah.
Yeah, she got silver in her throat. It was weird. Salt and garlic. It was weird.
Roll another deception check.
Can I aid it and like just be like cough, like coughing in the back, just like
make a performance check to help to try to go along with the deception.
Deception instead? Can it be another deception check?
Yes, it can be another deception.
Cool.
I'll roll for advantage.
I'll go ahead and use that advantage I have.
Yeah.
What I gotta do. Make that a 19.
Nice.
That's good. Oh, Lord. Having that nat 1 would have been bad.
Yeah.
I'm making my deception roll right now. Please love me, roll. Please love me, Dennis. Please. Or don't. I like either way.
So with the deception roll, that's definitely from lo-fi. That's, you sell it, like you accidentally kind of hurt your throat a little bit. And then the deception, yeah. I mean, you can feel the empathy coming through the other end of the phone for the receptionist of the school that like, because you just called the main line to take care of things. And she's like, oh my gosh. So my kid got silver stuck in their throat a couple years ago, and it was just take all the time that you need. I'll go ahead and let the principal and superintendent know. Just, if you could just get back to us before the end of the day and let us know if you'll need more days for the sub. I'm so, please tell your ancestor that twice removed, was it? But please tell them that I feel so bad.
Worst silver lining ever.
Oh my god, yeah, so bad. I'll talk to you. Bye.
So yeah, prepare to have some sympathy cards and flowers waiting in the teacher's lounge.
Oh no.
It's a very supportive work environment.
I'll donate them to some charity.
Okay, so you've successfully called out and are playing hooky. All right. You only get so many of those call out days per year, but this is totally worth it. Okay. So, so this the celestial essence that's like totally noticeable now to everybody, because like you've been around and it's just like, oh, that's what that, like, kind of like when you're in a city on a hot summer day and you don't notice at first how bad the sewer smell is, and then it's, oh no, okay. So I lived in San Francisco during the summer and only during the summer. I have memories. So yeah, you're able to follow it, and it goes right down the road to the salon. That's all. Like that's the name. It's the salon. It's the only hair joint in town. And yeah, it goes in there. They're not opened yet. They open at like 10 o'clock. So like there's some workers that are in there, getting ready, getting their stations and everything set up. But the close sign's still up on the door. What do you want to do?
Sorry, say again. Can you say the last part again?
What do you want to do?
Sorry, sentence before that.
There's a closed sign. The closed sign is on the door. So like you can see people inside that are getting ready for work for the day, but the salon itself hasn't been opened to the public.
Question. With teleportation, is it limited to how many people I can take, or is it just me?
Yeah, fuck it. It's you can choose to take as many people with you as you want, as long as it's not double digits.
Okay, cool. All right, so I'll ask everyone to hold hands.
Teacher voice.
Yeah, exactly. Hold hands, everyone. And then form a little circle and teleport right in the joint.
Awesome. And with that teleportation, we are going to be taking a break. So, you.
Dun, dun, dun.
All right. And we're back. When we last left, our group had just been teleported inside a closed business, the salon. So yeah, the group is teleported into the middle of the salon, the floor, and immediately all of the beauticians and everybody that worked there, they scatter again, because that's you just appeared in the middle of the floor. What is going on?
There's no need to worry. Don't scream. We're not here. Sorry to burst in. We know you're. I think Clyde's just making it worse by yelling.
Oh, no, I don't. Oh,
Yep.
yeah. Okay, this is what's happening.
So yeah, and then out from the back of the area where the stock room and everything, you see the party sees a very large and slender, cockroach. Not an infernal cockroach, just a dire cockroach. They're walking up on their hind legs, and in all the other sets of arms, they're carrying various like mixing and brushes and all the different accoutrements that you need to do hair. And then and everybody, if you've got your hair cut by a professional, you fucking know who Lucy Dyer Roach is. She is the best. Like, if you can get Lucy, you're good, but you usually can't get it's not going to happen. She's retired mostly. But yeah, she looks and she's like, what the fuck? What are you guys doing here? Like, we're closed. You can't, and we don't do group discounts anymore. That was a Groupon thing one time and it was awful.
Technically, you still have to honor that, but that's not what we're here for. No, so like a bunch of people died, and we're wondering if you had anything to do with that.
Oh,
that's why we're here, right?
I mean,
Is that not what we're here for?
Are you accusing me?
Oh no. But,
unless it's you.
well, then it becomes an accusation after you say it like that.
yeah.
Okay,
I'm just saying.
Well, see, the thing is, I do not appreciate you coming into my place of business. So, does this involve any of my girls up here?
I wish we knew, but right now we are still just fresh on this case. But if you just let me, and then Clyde does another big old whiff. Because how many times can I do this to my... So
activate the sniffer.
Two times? Yeah. I am going to do Divine Sense.
Yep. All right. Yeah. Mothballs takes you right to one of the front chairs. Like one of the front. It's there. It's in the chair. Like you start like I don't know how exactly want to do it, but like you suss around.
It's like Monterey Jack from Chippendales Rescue Rangers, and he just starts levitating up, following the smell.
Not Chippendales
Rescue Rangers.
Rescue Rangers.
Now I have gummy bears stuck in my head too, because that was back to back for me.
Gummy bears.
Everywhere.
We're gonna get muted. We gotta stop.
Sorry.
See, what's at the chair? Whose chair is this? Whose chair is this?
It's your chair, Clyde. It's actually the chair. It's the chair that you sit in when you get your hair done. And it's Lucy's chair.
Lucy, you have a lot of splaining to do.
So we are accusing Lucy.
What? I'm just saying, it's coming from Lucy. The smell from back there is the smell, right? Were you at the diner when...
Okay, so here's what's going to happen. I'm going to put these things down, set up my girls. Hey, no, Tommy, no, I told you, you are not doing colors today. You lost that privilege. So yeah, let me take care of my people. You guys wait back in my office. We'll discuss this like civilized people.
We will.
Yeah, a couple minutes go by. Do you go back immediately to her office, or are you going to snoop around the back of the shop?
May I make an insight check before?
Mm-hmm. I immediately try to sneak just to see if she doesn't make a run for it.
That's an 18 on insight. Do I trust Lucy? Like, do I really trust her? She's a damn good barber, but could she also be a murderer?
Let me make a GM roll real quick. No. But seriously, I am gonna make one.
Shave and a murder, 2 bits.
Yeah.
There were
yeah.
6 bodies back there.
They all had their throats cut by straight razors. No.
And made into pies. The milkshake.
It's Sweeney Todd revival.
So, Lucy, is kind of shady. Like, she has some associates that there's been rumors around town that her business is a front and a money laundering place, but those are just rumors. There's no evidence except for some strange men that anyway. No, but yeah, no, she's shady. And she may not be telling the entire truth. You're just not certain what part of, like, does she know that there is bodies and she's lying about that, or does she know something else and she's just keeping a calm front? There's something, but you don't know what.
Before departing, Clyde would definitely let Lucy and the girl set up. He does not want to interfere on their job, on their hustle. But he's gonna say, Lucy, we're gonna give you and the girl some space. Just want to let you know, there are 6 bodies back there, maybe more. But if you're in trouble, I am here to help you. But if you did this and you are responsible, Lucy, well, shame on you. And Clyde goes out the door to leave, but they haven't unlocked it yet. And he's still trying to work the door and looks back and is trying to like break the seriousness and like the weight of this departure. So he just kind of undoes the locks while still having his face turned the entire time. Shame. Shame. Let's go, girls.
Make a sleight of hand check.
11.
You fumble, but there's like 3 deadbolts and like it's a commercial door, so
Harrian. They were lovers. Girls, you can set up. Don't worry. Don't mind me. They were gonna. At one point, Clyde's gonna look at the rest of the party and look at the rest of them, just kind of like.
I ignore Clyde. I look away.
So
Could you all make sure that the girls set up their chairs all right?
Yeah. Do that.
And it just makes it take so much longer that by the time it's done, it's already open and like they're ready to take a customer. Then Clyde leaves.
While Clyde was doing all that, we were watching to that. Can Lo-Fi make a perception to see if anybody has like some like sort of takeout from Wyatt's sandwich? She's really zeroed in on this food war angle, honestly. She's convinced.
Yeah, absolutely.
All right, awesome. I don't have advantage, but I do have inspiration, so we will roll one of those.
Do it.
1d6.
Yep.
That's 12 now.
Nice.
You do notice that there's like the garbage from yesterday hasn't been taken out because they're lazy apparently on the closing shift. There's probably some issues there that there's some problem, but there's a lot of Wyatt sandwich in there, and there's takeout. Like they're kind of filthy. They leave their takeout like there, so you can see that somebody had like a big old drink and a big old fries, and stuffed inside the fry box is another container that looks like the takeout cups from Beth's. And then there's like some old fajitas that are leaking through another container. There's food war.
looking at it, the fajitas are much older than the Wyatt sandwich bag. So maybe there's a little bit of like equilibrium, but then Wyatt sandwich bought them. And it's partially through food, and that's who they sided with. If they didn't do it, they're in on it.
You were one of the kids in my class, are you?
Lo-fi? No.
Oh, okay, cool.
Graduated a while ago. No, it's just like, why a sandwich? More like, why are you murderers?
Oh, okay. Do they go in the back, the girls setting up, or do they sit right there?
After making that check, Lo-fi will, go to the office. Doesn't go into the office until Lucy gets there, because I don't want us all like locked into the office randomly.
Yeah, I was gonna send my familiar to do it.
Yeah. So the tiny pink elephant, or excuse me,
Pink
what's
whale.
it? Whale.
Mr.
Thank
Whale.
you.
Mr.
Like,
Whale.
Mr. Whale. I knew I had the species wrong. Yeah. And does he
That one is
fly,
like a
or does he
bumblebee.
flopping across the floor?
Yeah, just a little. As he speaks, he's a sneaky whale. He's very sneaky. He's a sneaky boy. He's a big boy.
There's lots of sinks in the back that he could like just kind of plop in and like sit and chill and be in the water too. He's magical, so he doesn't have to be in the water. That's
Yes. He doesn't have to be. Yes, he's boy.
boy. So yeah. And yeah, so the beauticians, they're setting up normal. It's they're not, they rent their chairs. This isn't their salon. It's not their problem. What Lucy's going to take care of whatever her business is on her own. They're just going to give her 35% cut at the end of the week. Don't give up. So yeah, they're doing their thing. And then after a couple minutes, Lucy, she finishes managing for a moment and goes back into her office and opens it up, and she has what appears to be a giant egg carton that like she kind of and lays down horizontally on, and then uses her front arms on this little cute like bright blue tiny 11-inch laptop that she does all of her accounting and business work on. And so she's like, okay, so like whatever, the 6 bodies, what does this have to do with me again?
There is a smell, a sense. Do you happen to know any angels?
Oh yeah, like there's a couple of them here in town. They don't really like it because you guys are in charge, and but yeah, there's a couple of them here.
When she says in charge,
yeah, that the vampires, everybody on the town council is a vampire. Vampires founded neighborly. It's like,
ew. Okay.
Yeah.
So who was your last customer?
My last yesterday. I think I did Flora the Fawn. I think I topped off the Mohawk yesterday afternoon, and then this morning we got delivery for the coffee, and we had a little bit of a kiki. And
where'd you get the coffee from?
Well, Titan brought it.
Oh no, I meant like which place. I like coffee connoisseur.
Oh, from YSM. Wyatt Sandwich is the only place that has coffee that early because it's before.
Convinced. Lo-fi is absolutely convinced now. It's all ties back to Wyatt sandwich.
Clyde's just gonna like open mouth, look over at Lo-fi, and point at Lo-fi.
Okay.
Clear.
So like, do you want some of the like we got a couple of cups left?
Oh
No, it's good.
no! We're actually.
I only drink coffee that has Monster Energy in
it. Clyde's gonna sniff
Not even
the
a lie for
coffee.
Lo-fi.
Clyde's gonna sniff the coffee.
Just sniff the coffee.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, like the coffee itself is coffee. The cup does have so like it's the trace smells. There's a little bit of a lingering smell on the outside of the cup. Same smell.
Do you know what I just smelt?
Was it
Do
mothy?
you know what I just sensed? Same damn thing.
Not looking good for you.
It's not looking good at all. Not at all.
So you don't like coffee? Like are we done here? Like as
Yes, we're done here, Lucy. It's been a
by
pleasure,
the
Lucy.
way, I believe I just helped you out. Larry got laid off from the factory. It's when they did that layoff last month, he was one of them. It's whatever. Could you, maybe, I scratched your back. Maybe you scratch my palm.
I'll edit his LinkedIn, yes.
I mean, okay.
I'll subscribe him to Canva, sure. Let's go.
Ring that bell.
I mean, yeah, okay. Okay. Oh. Right.
Clyde takes out his phone and adds a note. Help Larry. Hook up Larry. Thumb.
Hook up the giant dire roach who lost his job at the factory. The factory. Whatever that might
Larry,
be.
what are your skills? I think motorcycles are neat. It's not
He's
fair.
automotively minded.
Oh, he's had a thing for paper cranes.
Highly adaptable to multiple environments.
Not the bird, the machinery. That's me, I'm Larry.
Good with his hands.
Not the bird, the machine. Oh,
That's Larry.
yeah,
You
that's
wrote
Larry
him.
for you. Yeah, that's
That's yours. I take no responsibility.
no, but you have given him a little bit of life, a little extra life there. All right, folks. So, like, I mean, I'm pretty sure I can guess what Lo-Fi wants to do.
It's all ties back. It's clear.
It's all coming back.
That's how what's his face became the manager, because Titan was tired of it, and there was also Titan was doing Wyatt sandwiches, was doing Wyatt sandwich thing, and this one's they want this to be another factory town, but only Wyatt the sandwich themed. That's what they want. They're gonna turn this into a park. It's all coming together now, man.
Is it too late to change the entire course of the campaign to have it be that? Because amusement park evil baddie.
Lo-Fi would be fine with that. Vindication.
I'm just
I mean, Titan was on the suspect list, to be fair.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's like Titan is on the suspect list.
Dun dun dun.
hearing Lo-Fi just say that, I'm just gonna be like, oh, that's not gonna happen. Just like they're not gonna You don't have to worry about that.
Yes.
What do we want to do now? It's about, we'll say at this point, it's about lunchtime.
Well, I guess we could like go bite somebody real quick, but after that, I mean, legitimately, like where's Titan like stay? Because I assume Titan doesn't work at Y Sandwich officially. So where's his like his main job, his front position?
He is almost always at the gym. He doesn't work there, but I mean, he works. Everybody knows the Titan works.
And it's spin day.
Yeah, he'll be working. He's going to be doing those 3-minute stands. So I do cycling class and I fucking hate it. But I do it for rehab and my disabilities, but I hate it. So yeah, he's gonna be there miserable, but enjoying every moment, because every moment, every ounce, every drop of sweat is another step towards perfection. So the gym is where he's at.
Looks like it's time to prep the perp between their reps.
Do you mind if I just do a little bit light? Because I already did a nice extensive this morning. I just don't want to over. Okay, let's go. Let's go.
Let's just go. Let's fly.
This entire time, Clyde is still in his workout outfit.
What does that look like? What are
This is a basic white workout tee. Old school workout shorts, red with 2 white stripes at the base, and the workout tee has a red. It's like a quarter sleeve with the bold red at each end of the sleeve as well, and there's a caption on it where it's a beholder with all his eyes looking up, and you see that 9 of the eyes are X'd out with like patches over them, and there's one left, and there's like some graphic written on it, and it just says "shit sucks."
That's kind of amazing.
I mean, if that's not a shirt, yeah. Oh, glorious.
This is your game. I don't know.
It exists.
Characters.
No. I mean, like, if that's not a
shit.
shirt in real life, like, I want to buy that shirt myself and put it on my body. Like, give that to me. If fan art could do that, I would like. Like, if that would be my one, if I could get one piece of fan art ever in my entire life, I actually do want to see a t-shirt mock-up of that, because like beholders are one of my things, and shit sucks. Oh, all right. So yeah, I mean, you'll fit right in. And if is everybody gonna go to the gym, or there's you can go to Y Sandwich. There's all sorts of different places.
No, we'll go to the gym. That probably has some banner from some Y Sandwich charity event, I'm sure.
Y Sandwich Fun Run.
Hey,
Sign up.
it says on this flyer right here.
Not me.
Okay, well now that's a thing that exists. It came. So yeah, you guys walk over to the gym, and it is a giant concrete square, very function over form place, and then on the inside it's just a riot of colors and machines, because they have to cater to all sorts of different body types and peoples. So like you have a climbing equipment, like climbing walls that goes up and onto the ceiling with like obstacle course and different things, so you can go upside down if that's something that you do. Standard weights, the treadmills, all of that stuff. They got classrooms. It's a pretty big place, and even though this is a small town, it's kind of packed. Like there's multiple people outside of the like 5 employees that are constantly working. So yeah, and of course Clyde knows that Titans, this is spin day, so that's probably where he would be, is in like
no, not spin day, I said fin day, because he's a siren.
Fin day. Okay.
Yep.
Rewind.
That's a maritime joke.
Yes, it is. Yeah, there's a
It's like
pool.
those dorsals.
Yes, there's an indoor pool.
Really trying to reel us in with those maritime jokes.
Hey.
I see what you did there. Good night, folks.
Yeah. No,
Are you fishing?
I'm feeling very salty right now.
This is going faster than a lead sinker. Okay, come on. I am hooked though.
Oh,
I do.
Oh.
The key is to not be vague, but to be as specific as possible.
Oh.
I'm sure you don't mean it, but this is dragging on a little bit.
I feel like we're just riding the wave that comes with this kind of joy.
You know, there's just a current that goes between a group when you chat together.
We would like to bring everyone's attention to this time. The charity is vamping for water. So make sure you give us money.
This is 100% scripted. We planned this completely.
Yes,
character sheets right there.
If you found joy from any of those water-based buttons, please go ahead and you can hit the command charity water, see information about it, and donate.
Yeah. Because there's I think it's 285 million people in the world. It's a giant number like that don't have access to clean water, and that is horrible, because that is something that we definitely can fix with some help. So speaking of water, that's where Titan is. He's enjoying the salt pool. It's not chlorinated because that can damage skin. He's enjoying the warm saltwater indoor pool, doing laps like Michael Phelps wish he could. Yeah, he's working out. Fins flapping. You guys want to go bother him, or are you just gonna watch him swim?
Somebody's just gonna yell out, "You Titan! Stop!"
You're just gonna yell it out. Like, are you gonna go approach the pool, or are you?
Yeah, I'm gonna approach the pool. Okay. Kind of like approaching the pool, and then you'll getting close to this.
I'll follow, because I don't know how to feel about anyone who could possibly throw a whole cream tank and us approaching him.
Very valid. So you guys approach, and Lo-Fi calls out, and he you can see the Titan, he jerks in an acknowledgement, but then he continues for a couple more laps before pulls himself out of the water, and he is there's the meme of Doge, where he's a muscle builder, where it's a little tiny dog head and giant muscle body. That's what Titan is. As a siren, beautiful blue-green skin, and the fins, and dark hair, and completely pitch black eyes that are like the depths of the sea staring into your soul, and the webbed fingers, and he's just drying himself off. What?
So, what's your favorite item on the menu?
What menu?
Is it like the chicken
Oh.
biscuits? What
Oh,
kind of-
you mean at Tamir's work?
yeah. What's your favorite?
He just like he
Like-
just gazes off for a couple minutes.
I'm just wondering
that's
what
not
was.
usual for him.
It's not.
Yeah, and then after a second, he snaps back and, sorry. Yeah, I guess I mean, I have to eat healthy, but when I do carb loading, I mean, onion rings.
So you eat onion rings and coffee from why a sandwich? Is that your standard?
No, I don't drink. I drink water. He kind of looks at you like,
So
Fine.
you
Wet and
drink-
stupid. Mommy likey. Sorry. Sorry.
So
Uh,
did you go ahead?
I want to queue up another divine sense just to see if this is where the trail is bringing me to.
no, Titan. I mean, he smells like a siren. He smells like pure fresh ocean. Not angelic. However, no. I mean, like there's I mean, the locker room is just a funk of smell, so that's probably what that little tinge is.
Clyde starts wafting back towards the locker room.
And Titan, like, as you're walking, and it's about like a 30-foot walk from basically like the front of the pool area to the back where the locker rooms are. He looks off for a second, unfocused eyes, kind of slack-jawed, and then a different voice comes out from him. And he just stop. And I'm gonna need everybody to make a wisdom saving throw.
Those sugar snap peas. I wish I would have saved those advantages. Will save Wilbur.
And I would like to
Wilbur.
use my point of inspiration
Wisdom?
for that one.
Oh, I will definitely be using inspiration. Oh boy.
Oh yeah, I want to use my inspiration as well.
Oh, it's so bad. Well,
Okay. And we got any other inspiration getting added on?
I'll use mine.
I love role-playing games because, like, sometimes the dice just fuck you. This is honestly like
take
I'm
me out to dinner first.
That's what it says on the size. That's what it says on the side of the box. It's like escape. Okay.
Right. So this is not what I had anticipated happened. Because I was for sure that +5 wisdom save was gonna do something. Yeah, so he says stop in this different voice. It's very commanding and compelling. Oh yes, that nat 20. Okay,
Sorry, I had a hard time clicking it from the. Yeah.
You're okay, hon. You are okay. So
Thank you.
You come in and friggin' yeah, between you and Mr. Whaley, like you are able, or Mr. Whale is able to kind of come in and distract for just a moment, which is enough of the distraction of the whale flying by and you being like, what? The reaction of however you want to react to everybody just going all of a sudden slack-jawed and vacant-eyed, similar to the way that Titan had been acting. So with that, yeah, Titan just tried to do a command mass command spell on all of you to prevent you from going into the locker room, and I'm treating a crit like a crit, and you have been miraculously pulled back from being stopped from doing what you want to do. How would you like to respond to this action?
Well, now we definitely gotta get back there.
Yeah, but I will turn to the Titan and be like, hey, whoever's controlling, you stop that and you speak like a grown being that you are. Talk to us directly. Don't command. You talk. That's what we do here. Go check out that back room, Clyde. Y'all go check that out.
Oh, teacher voice for the win. Okay. So you're gonna stay there and basically scold using the power of education.
Exactly.
Okay, who is going where?
I'll go with Clyde for backup.
I'm gonna stay out here just in case teacher voice doesn't work. Just to help.
Okay. All right. So we're going to do. Sorry, I'm trying to think of how to do this. All right. So party split. With Titan. He kind of looks at you for a minute and then he changes form and it's not Titan. It's a very disconcerting way because he melts like down from this big form into a very, very small man. Very small man. And let's go ahead and have you roll either a history or an intelligence check, both of you, to see if you recognize who he is from around town. I mean, Frey's busy a lot.
I remember all the pets and things and beings.
The owner's
kind of busy.
Not so much. Okay. Okay. Yeah, he's little tiny. No, he's probably about 4.5 feet tall, but he's very, very thin. Okay. Oh, I'm sorry. I just saw Arrianna's roll. Holy crap.
Yeah.
I was like, what is that? Oh. All right. So yeah, you guys have no friggin' idea who he is. You can tell that he is a vampire. You can tell that he's a vampire. He has the pallor, he has the teeth, he has the dark circles from never getting any sleep. Yeah, and he's just kind of sits there and folds his arm. I don't have to tell you anything. I don't. Why don't you go back in the locker room with your friends? I don't have to tell you anything.
I was like, I think you have a lot to tell us, young man. You're just trying to like intimidate them into telling us things.
Okay, go ahead and roll an intimidation check.
Yeah. Hopefully it guides me.
Yeah, he might. Does anybody else have like a programmed response from adults doing that to them when they were a kid? I'm gonna tickle you. It's me. Okay.
Flinching away.
Yep. Yeah.
Bite.
Yeah. Toddler members. Anyway, so yeah, go ahead and try to roll an intimidation check. Are we doing that?
Yep, I'm doing that now. Just not my highest stat, and yet I have not done a good job. No intimidating here.
Oh, so
close. Can I use my bardic inspiration? Can I use?
Yeah.
Yeah, I didn't use my bardic. I didn't use my bardic inspiration.
Yeah, so automatic success then, because you're gonna at least roll a 1. And so he's just like, fine. My name's Kevin. You probably don't even know me. Nobody does. Like he is pouty, but he's an adult. Like he might be child size, but he's an adult. But the teacher voice still works on him.
Yeah. Is there some chairs around? I'm gonna try to sit with him somewhere and just be like, oh, well, I notice you now. So try to have a sit with him.
Yeah.
Did you say hi to Mr. Whale?
Oh my God. The whale floating around. Okay. Yeah. And you sit down with him and it takes like 2 seconds to discover that he's a town council member. He is in charge of magical experimentation and containment in the town of Neighborly.
Ooh.
And then you're like, oh yeah, I've heard of that department once. Like, okay, yeah, I've totally heard of your job and you're important.
So
yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. And he's just like, I do stuff. I take care of things that need to be taken care of.
It's a very big job.
Like impersonating people.
I mean,
beings.
I was asked to. I was asked to. So.
By who?
I don't have to tell you that. Roll if you want to persuade, intimidate, decept if you want to try to convince them that you're friends.
Because it's why a sandwich, clearly.
I thought you went to the back.
She did.
From the back. It's why a sandwich.
That would be in character. Just out of nowhere. It's why a sandwich.
Oh, shit. I tried to persuade him. Rose 20 just doesn't like me.
Hey, you got the nat 20 when it counted.
Yeah.
Yeah, because that would have been like, okay, and now the story's done. Ray, you want to try to yeah. Oh. Maybe I should have made you guys higher level than 3.
Advantages though, right?
Oh yeah. I'm gonna use that. I'm gonna
Oh, Toad's using it. Toad's using
18
it.
now.
All right, so it's 18. All right, cool.
Okay. So he looks back at the locker room, hearing the savage faintly coming as they're walking away down the hall. And he makes a small nod. And then
I
he says,
knew it.
and he says, Tamir, I can't. Tamir will kill. And then his tongue explodes out the front of his mouth.
No.
And he's no more.
Oh no.
Oh,
So were you
he's-
sitting directly in front of him, like you're across from each other?
Yeah, like across, like across the table.
Well, it's a good thing that COVID doesn't exist in this world, because you just got heavily splattered by. Oh, I'm so sorry.
Okay.
Talk about the wet works.
Hey.
Yeah. Yeah.
Someone just
Speaking
exploded.
tongues. I mean, yeah, so you have exploded face on your face and front of your being. And then also, as this his body goes, kind of relaxes in the aftershock, and a giant, like, slug-like thing starts slurping out of one of the holes that is now existing in his skull.
So
I'm gonna back up because there's anime to know where this goes. So I'm gonna back up.
Little bit of Zerx, but yeah, so this creature it's kind of like a slug, kind of like a leech, about 6 inches long, and it's starting to grow down the remains of, like, it's leaving the premises.
Get him, Mr. Whale. Get him.
Yeah, just really wail on him.
Yeah, go for it.
Would it? Come on, Flipper. So, yeah, do you want to have the familiar attack him?
Yeah.
Okay. It's a flying pink whale, so they can do a flyby. It can swoop down like a beautiful pink hawk with no feathers, like a beautiful plucked chicken. Just whoop.
Time to beach this baddie.
Yeah. Oh my, no, I'm not talking about Scrimshaw. So go ahead and roll 1d4, because I'm just gonna say that it hits. The slug has no AC. It's soft bodied.
I'm gonna also look for like a bottle or something to put it in.
Like somebody's water bottle.
Yeah. Someone's.
Oh, no. Yeah, you find a Hello Kitty water bottle, like a clear one that's like a 32 ouncer that has like cute little not Hello Kitty, Goodbye Doggy.
Hey.
That has lots of little cartoons, and it's all like, and you can see that
the story behind it's really sad. It's about this divorced dog.
It's a support network for divorced animals, for recently divorced.
And with my gambling addiction.
Okay, so it
see
takes
the pups on Tuesday.
Oh my
Go
gosh.
to the track.
Would that mean that there's a happy bird in there instead of bad? Okay, anyway. So Yeah, this thing is contained, and it's almost dead. Like the whale body slammed it like off the top rope. I mean, I don't know how many wrestling stands are out there, but I don't know how old they are. But Rikishi from the 90s.
Yes!
Oh my god! Yes!
Rikishi off the top ropes.
Yes. Bah, the humanity. Yeah, Rikishi with like baby Chris Jericho. One of those type of matches where it was just an evisceration. Oh, my husband's gonna be so proud that I managed to work some wrestling shit in because we are such fucking stands. AEW game changers. Anyway, so whatever. Yeah, that slug is like, it's alive, but it's pulverized because you got 4 and it has 5 HP. So it's barely hanging on by a single slimy thread. And with that, with you holding the water bottle, unless you want to say something, but we'll cut back over to the other team.
Okay.
What you gonna like? What do you do with the slug in a water bottle?
I don't know. What do I do with this?
I'm just gonna.
Yeah.
I guess this is my jurisdiction. Just take it. Are slugs technically animals?
Yeah.
Okay, I'm just gonna take this.
Looks like that slug was weak
Okay.
to assault.
They don't have sunglasses.
You somewhere.
All right. So moving over to the locker room. Clyde and Lo-Fi, Clyde knows the layout. So he's just like, down this hallway, go in. The locker room is full of that smell. It like you're gonna gag on it. You can like feel it on your skin type of heaviness. And it's,
Hello.
You hear like a little bit of a movement from behind one of the lockers back towards the shower area.
Are you decent? It's me. It's Clyde. I was just trying to figure out if you knew. And while Clyde's saying this, motioning over towards to Lo-Fi, to like, hey, they're over in the shower. Go flank them around. And then says, just want to see if you knew anything about what happened earlier. I'm just gonna stall while my friend comes around and flanks you on the side.
Oh, Clyde. That's such a classic Clyde move.
It's
Yes.
Clyde. Clyde's gonna Clyde.
Yes. We love honesty.
Otherwise, it'd be dishonest.
Yeah, we love honesty.
Oh, it's consistent. So just like okay.
We love that lawful stupid.
So
We love
Lo-Fi,
it.
of course, is sneaking along and then looks at Clyde like, continue sneaking though.
Clyde's just
Go
gonna
ahead and
keep
make a sneak
talking
check.
with like
Okay.
thumbs up.
Alright. So stealth.
Yeah, stealth.
Hey, 18.
All right. Let me make a roll here. Oh, hey. I tried to whisper instead of /roll. I tried /W roll. There's no character named that. So yeah, you sneak. You are able to get up this row of lockers. Mission Impossible. Dun, 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 dun. And you get to the very end and peek around the corner, and there is a barrel, couple barrels. One of them stands straight up, And then you have others that are tipped over on their side in the shower area.
Please make one roll.
I see what you did there. I appreciate it.
That was good. That was really good and very subtle. So yeah, you have a couple barrels, and what do you want to do? There was some sort of noise. You can't identify what that noise was.
Like something in? Is there something in the barrel? So I have to kind of peek in. Is there something?
Yeah, you want to
in
get
them?
closer?
Yeah. I can't like smell anything. Like I assume I don't smell like gunpowder or something.
It smells like a locker room.
Okay. I'll get closer.
Sorry. Okay, yeah. So yeah, you get closer, you can see that the barrels that were tipped over definitely had some sort of liquid inside of them. Because like the tile floor still has like, you can see where it's evaporated and it's still on there a little bit. And it's kind of weird. Like, this place is really well lit and really maintained, but the lights in the back half of the locker room all keep flickering. Like the overhead lights are all flickering, and it's making it kind of difficult to really see what's going on without being up close. They really need to change the bulbs out. But there is some sort of movement in the, like, unfortunately, mass communal old school style of showers. No privacy in this gym. There is movement deeper within like this 20 by 20 foot shadowy area.
Okay. Can Lo-Fi, like if one of them barrels is still standing up, Lo-Fi is gonna kind of like to go ahead and tip it over, see what happens.
Okay, make a strength check or athletics.
Okay. Not the best. Hey.
So yeah, I mean, you're able to, it's heavy, but you're able to knock it over. And then immediately there's just lots of, as whatever is being poured out, the liquid is there, but there's also things, large mass within that. There's some sort of creatures or something. Yeah, it's on closer inspection, it's full of giant, disgusting, fat slugger leech like things. Now they're all over the floor.
Backing up.
All right.
And I think about this time, Lo-Fi probably found ya. So if you can just come out, that would save us a lot of time.
I think Lo-Fi backs up, just like, who the hell leaves out slugs?
Slugs!
Like a bunch of them. Like
a bunch of slugs.
Yeah. They're like slipping, sliding all over the place.
Clyde checks them out. First, I would like to do a medicine check to see if these slugs are engorged at the moment and are in fact some type of leech.
Yeah.
No.
I mean, there's some of them are fat, some of them are skinny, some of them are like, you don't really do slugs.
Then they're a pocket pet, technically. That's out of Clyde's jurisdiction.
So it's like, I mean, they're not slugs though. You do know that. Like,
This is not a slug.
Well, I don't know. It was slimy and I didn't want to touch it. Also, who left these here? Someone's here, clearly. So why don't you just come on out and we'll have this talk, food place to food place, and settle this.
All right, we're going to the food place.
Because unless someone tells me different. At this point, it's why a sandwich. And now it's in continuity.
I contain the barrel slimies just so they don't get anywhere else. At the same, I just tidy up the rest of the locker room in general because I know some of the boys kind of forget. We all try to pitch in here and there, and I take it on out to the rest of the folks.
Yeah, I mean, like, where the push brooms and like all of the little the cleaning janitor's locker that's in there is, so you're able to find some trash bags. Do you want to try to pick up the slugs and put them in the trash, like, and or pick them up, or
Yeah, but I'm not gonna just do it bareback with my hand and just put them in. I'm gonna cast protection of good and evil on myself, and then proceed to grab the slugs with gloves on, and then put them in garbage bags and just kind of carry the full of it out.
okay. Yeah, you count. There are 47 slug things that are
Give
now
each of them a name.
This one's Leroy, and this is Agatha, and that's Loki.
Doing this.
Yeah, I mean, and the weird thing is, even though you are wearing gloves, when you pick them up, you get a sense of something. Like it's not, it's almost as if these things have a mind and can communicate. It's almost as if creatures can communicate with others. But yeah, no, it's this really weird but still slimy. Like, it doesn't feel good, it doesn't feel clean, it's just
Clyde just makes that same remark and said, "This doesn't feel good. This doesn't feel clean. You're Lenny. Oh, this is just a complete horror. What is this? This isn't from this world. And you are Latrice."
Clyde, you are a joy to behold sometimes.
I'm not sure if you're serious or not. It sounded like sarcasm, but I'm not quite sure yet. So I'm going to say thank you.
It was the truth. I said sometimes. That is true.
All right. And with that lovely conversation as they're walking out of the locker room and back into the pool area, Santa Clyde, with his sack full of goodies over one shoulder, meets up with Frey with her not so quite smoothie water beverage shoulder, sad dog, or goodbye dog. Goodbye dog.
Yeah.
You appear to have found the same creatures in different locations. Oh my gosh. It's definitely Wyatt sandwich. They have Wyatt sandwich branded on them. No, just kidding.
Like, yes, they do. Lo-fi's gone. Blocking it. I know it.
Yep. Clyde is right with you. Looking like he had to cancel a wedding in Trinidad. Let's go to Wyatt. Let's go to Wyatt sandwich.
I can't believe we run on the plot of Good Burger.
Hey, that was an engaging movie.
I'm sorry.
I didn't say good, I said engaging.
Exactly. No, it is. I agree. Engaging film. He ran on the plot of Good
Welcome to Wyatt Sandwich.
Home of the Wyatt Sandwich. Welcome to Wyatt Sandwich, home of the Wyatt Sandwich. Can I take your order?
Yes, thank you. I can't keep it straight, please, because I'm just imagining I loved that show growing up. Everything. Keenan and Kel. Just respect.
I'm in a slug barrel jacuzzi.
chicken biscuit nose boy. Ah!
Oh, that would hurt. Oh,
Oh, it was.
oh. All right. So, are we storming the restaurant
Yes.
with mugs?
To the top.
Wait.
Okay.
Did we meet up?
I didn't catch that.
Oh, did we meet up? Like from
Yeah,
where
yeah.
we were?
mean-
Everybody's together in the pool area next to the exploded body.
Okay, yeah. Good news or bad news. Titan wasn't Titan, or Titan was something. He wiped my face because I think I still have muck on my face. He exploded. He said something about a Tamir, I believe, before he exploded.
I knew it. I knew it.
Oh, yeah,
Go into management.
we found a bug.
Hold it above my
Yeah, we got a whole sack of those.
A whole sack.
Lucian. 48.
You know what? Whatever, fine. I'm going to buy a sandwich right now.
Oh no. Okay. All right. I guess we'll go to White Sandwich.
Wrap this up.
All right, White Sandwich.
Okay. So Santa Clyde and his bag of I'm sorry, that's gonna be it. So the party goes across town to Waya Sandwich, which is a beautiful green checkered building and brand new fast food joint. And as the party enters, it's really packed. It's been really popular as new
The doors
food
are
places.
kicked in, by the way. That's happening.
Oh, cool. Yeah.
Everybody
better.
leave.
So yeah, you kick the doors in and it's full of people eating and nobody responds. They're just
I rip the bag of slugs open and just throw it across the entire stand and just yell, "Health code violation!"
Oh God.
Get out!
as one, everybody turns and looks at the party.
With the spell command, I cast this.
Oh.
We prevented an apocalypse to cause another one. That's good.
Okay. So the command is
Flee! Get out! Leave my tomb!
yeah. It doesn't. There's a couple kids, like there's some kids there that just like they're shit scared. They're like, oh my God, okay, go. But all the adults are still there, and aside from looking, they're still eating and drinking and just like very and it ain't right and it's not okay.
You know what? All right. Just start moving people. Lo-Fi's gonna like, you know what? I'm gonna start ejecting people from this place, and if management doesn't get here right now, I'm taking this whole building down, and cast enlarge on herself.
Ooh.
So yeah, where are you standing when you cast enlarge?
I think kind of close to like the counter, like not necessarily, yeah, like pretty close to that. Yeah, like giving her a little bit of space so when she grows, like her knees don't bang into it. But yeah,
exactly. Okay, that's what I was like. If you do this in the doorway, you're gonna get a headache. But yeah, so yeah, you enlarge, and are you gonna start like picking people up by the collar?
Yep, like ejecting them.
Yep. All right, you bouncer it. Which you're DJ, you probably have moonlighted as a bouncer a couple of times. So yeah, they don't put up any resistance, And then like as you're going through and you get a couple people, they're crowded back up against the door. Like
White makes a barricade to kind of keep them at bay.
oh no, they're not trying to, they're very passive. It's creepy. It's not like we're not talking like, oh, we have to get in and eat our French fries. They're just standing there like they're waiting for something or someone. So yeah, and the employees, they're continuing to like cook, and there's somebody who like comes up to the front register, is like, oh hi, welcome to Y Sandwich. How can I help you?
Why are you polluting the vibes of this whole town? Everyone should have their own vibe, and you've had them all synced up. I will not stand for it. The revolution will be televised. And I imagine that out of Hammer Space, just a boom box slammed on the counter. Just blaring a lo-fi version of "We're Not Gonna Take It."
I put on my love and hate ring. No, I'm going
Oh, and she's just like, oh, well, I'm sorry, but we don't have that on the menu.
Tamir, get out here right now.
Oh, okay, I'll get Karen.
Oh no.
Not just say Karen.
I did say Karen. No. It's a reverse Karen.
Final boss.
So yeah, shift lead Karen comes out, and she has that haircut and that body language, and she's yeah, what are you harassing my employees?
You're getting out of this town or your building's getting destroyed. People are dead, people are exploded, and there are slugs everywhere, and I don't vibe with that. You want to call the fuzz? You go ahead and do that, but this place will be gone before that happens. So you got a choice to make very quickly.
And I got to work in 20 minutes.
Else. That too.
Well,
Actually, I actually got to go off from work.
Oh,
Okay.
So sorry. It was great having you. Oh wait, no. Are you actually leaving or no?
Oh no! I said no. I said I got a day off from work.
Oh, okay. I thought you were like, I have to go. And I was like, oh no.
I said I got a day off from work. Like I actually got a day off from work.
All right. Oh, so yeah, Karen just looks at everybody, looks at the slugs on the floor, and does another one of those shimmy, melty, shape-shifting things. And yeah, it's a giant slug.
Oh.
It's Mama Slug.
Yeah.
Oh.
Go slime somewhere else. This town's ours. Unless you want to be assaulted as well.
Slugs don't have eyes, but that slug's eyes widened. Make a persuasion check.
Sure.
With advantage.
Cool. Persuasion. Clicked. Yeah.
All right, dirty 20. So in your minds, you hear Karen go, I didn't even want stupid vampire brains anyway. I will be writing a letter about this though. And
joke's on you. I don't read.
Radio vibes only.
Audio. I got audiobooks for that.
Oh, not literacy. Oh, it's not cool.
So
she didn't say she couldn't read. She said she doesn't read.
Chooses. So yeah, this the slug doesn't leave. Like they don't like run out and they're scared, but because of what you have exposed today, the evidence that you have gathered, You have gone through it, interrogated, and found the slugs that which were going into the sewer system of the city to then spread out, and was being put into the food. They were getting sucked, getting taken over, and having the water polluted. But yeah, you guys are able to figure it out, and it's not something that happens overnight, but within the next couple of weeks, eventually Waya Sandwich shutters, things kind of settle back to normal, and there's a new election for the position that Sabrion held on the city council, if anybody's interested. Several people around town have nominated, like everybody in the party. But yeah, you literally saved the day by throwing slugs on the floor and talking to rats and ghosts and pretending to be a fly.
Okay.
I hope everybody had fun. I'm still really nervous, but this was hilarious for me.
Yeah.
And I hope that everybody really remembers that charity water is something that's super important. And whether you donate right now or in one of the other streams that are happening later, please, if you are fiscally able to donate, do so. It's super important. And I know that myself, and I'm going to speak on behalf of everybody, I know everybody really would appreciate support like that, because that's why we're here. So I don't know what the wrap-up situation is going to be, because we didn't actually go over that.
No.
I'm back. Yes, thank you everybody for watching. I'd love to thank our players and our wonderful GM. We'll just go around, you should say bye and hype anything else you want to hype and all that sort of stuff. I'll do it the same order as I did before. So we'll start with Camisha.
This was really fun. I guess just hype all of the rest of the streams y'all are gonna be doing, because this is such a great cause.
Okay, Nathaniel.
Hey, what's up? It's me, Nathan Kiss, aka What Is Kiss. You can find me on Twitter under What Is Kiss. Keep an eye out for Alabaster Kingdom, an actual play horror-based game of the dungeon game coming on Loading Ready Run on October 4th. I love you.
Love you. I love you.
And Arrianna.
Hi, I'm Arrianna yet again. You can find me at Lady at Ema on Twitch. Twitter. Not on Twitch. Thank you. This is my first time ever doing something like this. So thank you. I would say I would give a shout out to the audio drama in between. We're doing something big over there, and we'd love if you like to watch or listen, give a listen. It's a good series. So.
Fantastic. Alesha.
And
sorry. Was there anything else, or Arrianna?
No,
Oh.
sorry.
Okay.
Cool. Yes, hi, I'm Alesha. You can find me on Twitter at NNG98 and on Twitch at Petty Energy. I stream sometimes on Sundays, mostly board games, but typically you can find me on other people's channel. And this Sunday in the afternoon at 3 o'clock Eastern Time, you can find me on We the Tell while we play the superhero game. Thank you so much. I hope you like the puns. Bye.
And last but not least, our wonderful dungeon master, Baba Yaga.
All right, so yeah, you can find me at Shut Up Sarah on Twitter or on Twitch at Baba Yaga Creative, and I do all sorts of gaming streams and DIY creative stuff, and I also love you so much. I'm stealing it from you, Nathan. I'm sorry. Yeah, this is a blast. Thank you all so much.
I didn't invent love. Unless. Thank you for running the game. This was a lot of fun, everybody.
Yeah, really, it was a lot of fun.
Thank you. Roll for it.
Yeah.
Rolling for dice with friends rolling dice. Friends roll dice.
Friends who roll dice, or friends who ran for water. Yes, this is going down in history forever. Yes,
We raised that fire, Charity.
I will thank you all. I'll be sending you to the thank you for watching card in a moment, but there will be a raid heading over to Utopia, who are also doing a Vamp Day stream. So, keep up the Vamp action and all that jazz. Thank you very much. Love all your faces. And we'll be back very soon with another one shot for water. Bye.
Woo.
Hello.